It's Hugo and Jake, they're coming to take a look at the Quran. So make no mistake, it's gonna be great, delivering more than comedy, that's what they wanna be. But honestly, it's fact from fiction, leaving lasting hits. When Hugo and Jake take faith and illustrate contradictions, create apostates to be great. Atheists make people who believe see the world in a different way. What's on the episode today? Take it away, Hugo and Jake. Loving the way they're splitting the fact from the fake, attempting to make those who hold faith reevaluate and wake up. But they just stay stuck and haters wait and stay in place. No time to waste. The Quran Reloaded with Hugo and Jake.
Hello everyone, I'm Hugo.
I'm Jake.
This is the Quran Reloaded. Welcome back. We're here to talk about
The Quran?
Yeah. Sicc Surah.
That's the premise.
We're in verse 74, and today we're going to be talking a brief story about Abraham, and they're going to be trying to tie, again, Islam backwards in time and tie it to the other Abrahamic religions.
What did we talk about last time? I'm pretty sure he was just threatening people, but I'm getting this and Ezekiel mixed up from the Bible study.
I know, they get conflicted.
Because they're both real thready right now. They're like, hey, you do that shit, I'll break your knees with a ball-peen hammer.
Yeah, basically, that's what happened last time.
Okay, good.
So, Sicc Surah, verse 74. Abraham said to his father Azar. Now I already have to stop.
I was going to say, is that his name in the Bible?
Abraham's father in the Bible, his name in Genesis 11:26 says his name is Terah. So we have conflicting accounts on what the
like Earth?
It's spelled differently.
Okay.
Although it wouldn't surprise me if maybe there's...
Well, that's Latin, though.
Oh, you're right. Totally
So,
different.
Yeah.
Coincidence. But it's weird that one has one name, one has another. If you expect them to be divinely inspired text. It makes total sense, assuming that they're different.
Yeah, sure. But I mean, also, there's this thing, and I will give them a sliver of the benefit of the doubt here, because Abraham's name changes, and so maybe his father's changes as well. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Abraham's name changes, though, because God says you're going to be...
Hey, believe me, I'm just saying that's a thing that occurs.
Okay.
That's the sliver. I think they just got it wrong, or... Is there a right? I don't... Made it up.
Yeah. So, Abraham said to his father Azar, not Terah, "Do you take idols for gods? I see that you and your people are in evident error." Thus we showed Abraham the empire of the heavens and the earth, that he might be one of those with certainty. When the night fell over him, he saw a planet. He said, "This is my Lord." But when it set, he said, "I do not love those that set."
Like an everlasting...
Yes. He needs an everlasting thing to worship.
Okay.
You can see where this is going. Then, when he saw the moon rising, he said, "This is my Lord." But when it set, he said, "If my Lord does not guide me, I will be one of the erring people."
Yeah, and moons they just mislead people all the time.
Then, when he saw the sun rising, he said, "This is my Lord, this is bigger." But when it set, he said, "Oh, my people, I am innocent of your idolatry."
By the way, I've heard that because the moon and the sun, from our vantage point, look very similar to the same size.
Yeah.
That someone said, this was a while ago, it scientifically shows that the sun was bigger. But people wouldn't have known that back then. Islam apologetics.
I have directed my attention towards him who created the heavens and the earth, a monotheist, and I am not one of the idolaters. So essentially, that entire story is Abraham saying, okay, all you polytheists, you worship gods representing, one thing, a sun, a planet, a star, the ocean, whatever. Those things, there's no constancy in those things. So he's saying, so I will follow God, Yeshua, as he would be called in the Old Testament, or Allah, as he would be called here. Of course, Abraham predates not only Christianity and what they would have considered Judaism, but of course Islam.
Yep.
And he's the founder of Judaism, basically.
Yeah.
So...
But, I mean, as far as Abraham's concerned, he might as well be, Romulus Remus of Rome. It's so nebulous as to whether or not any of it's even based in any sort of truth, let alone... Romulus and Remus, by the way, are wolves that found Rome.
No, they were twins that were raised
raised by wolves, that's right. But that's basically a wolf. I also like the implication that monotheism is somehow... It's better because there's not a team-up effort. It's better because it's just one. It's the Superman, not the Avengers.
Well, that's their argument.
I know it is.
Their argument, it's a backdoor, trapdoor argument because they're saying, okay, all your gods... It's like they recognize a problem in polytheism. Okay, there are all these gods that control
Which one
different
did
things.
the stuff?
That's kind of confusing. That something would have ultimately, the specious reasoning that humans have says, okay, then what made them? Okay, there has to be an ultimate god of gods. That's the god all
But that
worship.
also implies the other ones exist.
I understand. I assume the reasoning went something like, there's an ultimate god of gods, but if there's an ultimate god of gods, why does he need the other gods? So there probably aren't other gods, there's just this god. I understand. I get it. I'm just saying, I think that's where they're coming from when they originally...
And then Christianity is like, yeah, but Trinity.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing to talk about another day. And his people argued with him. He said, "Do you argue with me about God when he has guided me? I do not fear what you associate with him, unless my Lord wills it. My Lord comprehends all things in knowledge. Will you not reconsider?" So Abraham is saying, "How dare you question me? God told me." To which they would presumably say, yeah, we're questioning that God told you this, asshole. That's the whole point.
And then God got an army and killed them all.
Again, this is even by, Old Testament biblical standards made up, because this is clearly a story made up by Islamic people or by Muhammad himself to try and tie his new religion in with the already religions in the area.
And this is not the first time this has happened or will happen. Like Rome, for instance, adopts Christianity, mostly due to population issues, with Christianity spreading and polytheism sort of falling away over the 400 or so years it takes to get to that point. And then or was it 200? Anyway, they folded into their holidays and stuff, which is, the Christmas and so you just change the religion to make people acquiesce a little bit easier.
And why should I fear those you associate with him? And you do not fear associating others with God, for which he sent down to you no authority? Which side is more entitled to security, if you are aware? Those who believe and do not obscure their faith with wrongdoing, those will have security, and they are guided. That was our argument, which we gave to Abraham against his people. We elevate by degrees whomever we will. Your Lord is wise and informed.
Who's we here?
Royal we, I would assume. But I also like to point out that this is God saying,
Abraham
the Quran,
through God.
The Quran saying God said, this is the argument we gave Abraham. It sound airtight. But it's not really. It's not airtight.
Well, do you think God would have better arguments? You'd think, he'd say something that would just, blow your fucking mind. Not something that you could be like, yeah, but what?
Yeah. And we gave him Isaac and Jacob, each of them we guided, and we guided Noah previously, and from his descendants David, and Solomon, and Job, and Joseph, and Moses, and Aaron. Thus we reward the righteous, and Zechariah, and John, and Jesus, and Elias. Every one of them was of the upright. And Ishmael, and Elijah, and Jonah, and Lot, we favored each one of them over all people.
Lot? You didn't favor Lot.
You did not favor Lot.
I don't think they read the Bible. Lot is intentionally put in to besmirch a certain tribe. I forget which tribe. We talked about it.
No, Lot's the one that... No, Lot,
Lot gets fucked by his daughters.
Oh, who am I thinking of?
I don't know.
I'm thinking of a thing later. Sorry.
Okay, so yeah, Lot, he's the, Sodom and Gomorrah, angels come down, Lot runs, his wife turns around, turns into a pillar of salt, then he hides in the mountains with his daughters who rape him while he's drunk, and then they have offspring, and so the joke is that not only was their mother an idiot, the matriarch of the line, but also their father is so dumb that he gets drunk and he allows his daughters to rape him, and have offspring, so they're all incestual and just basically beast people. But they're still one of the tribes, so you know what I mean? It's literally just it's a joke. And maybe a political besmirching, but I don't know how severe that was to Jews. Probably a lot.
And of their ancestors and their descendants and their siblings, we choose them and guided them to a straight path. Such is God's guidance. He guides with it whomever he wills of his servants. Had they associated, their deeds would have gone in vain. Those are they to whom we gave the book, and wisdom, and prophethood. If these reject them, we have entrusted them to others who do not reject them.
Wait, so there's backup prophets.
I was just going to say...
on the bench?
We've talked about the prophethood thing and the whole problem with
Yeah.
giving divine visions of truth to certain people but withholding them from others and then expecting them to be held to different standards as far as what happens when you die. Just make everyone a prophet. Just show everyone the prophet shit.
Literally one time. And then we wouldn't have any excuse, but I'm sure people would still rebel, right?
Sure.
But then at least, I don't know if the ultimate length of the punishment is justified, but you could say in a world that God definitely exists to everyone, the punishment is known and it just happens to be law. Like, I don't think that imprisonment for marijuana possession is needs imprisonment, right?
Right.
But that's a thing that we all agree don't do it then, right?
If you don't want to go to
If you
jail.
don't want to go to jail,
Yep.
right? Unless you have, like, you know, your papers or whatever. Yeah, I think that'd be the same thing, especially a cosmic being of omnipotence, right?
What a horrifying universe
Oh,
that would
fuck,
be.
that's awful. It's literally like, think of the worst supervillain, but give them all the power. Like that Justice League Superman loses. It's kind of the Injustice timeline a little bit, I think. He takes over for Lex Luthor. He gets this white suit, Superman does. And then, is it Flashpoint too? I don't remember. But, so basically Superman takes over the world. But because Superman is the hero that can never be hurt, he's also the villain who can never be hurt. So it's even worse. And so yeah, it's like that.
Except also no bacon.
No bacon?
No bacon.
What are we doing with the pigs? Can we eat ham? No, we can't
No.
eat any of it, can we?
No.
What about pig hoofs? At a
No.
certain point down the pecking order of pork, I just get real desperate. Just want to suck on a hoof. Never had pig feet?
No.
Yeah, they're not great.
Those are they whom God has guided. So follow their guidance. Say, I ask of you no compensation for it. It is just a reminder for all of mankind. They do not value God as he should be valued. When they say, God did not reveal anything to any human being, say,
Ooh.
who revealed the scripture, which Moses brought a light and guidance for humanity?
Moses did.
Good answer. You put it on scrolls, displaying them, yet concealing much, and you were taught what you did not know. Neither you nor your ancestors say God. Then leave them toying away in their speculation.
it gives you the clapbacks in this book.
Yeah.
You already have your answers.
It makes me feel a little... Man, what if Moses was just a guy who was smart...
Assuming his existence.
Assuming his existence. Smart for his age, let's
Sure.
say. For, like, I mean the time he's in.
Right, yeah. And maybe don't, like, you know, don't covet thy neighbor.
And
Don't kill anybody.
and maybe everyone around him's a dumb shit.
To be fair, he also did put, like, 4 commandments that are like,
Yeah.
thou shalt have no other god.
I assume that was sort of a control thing. But that's what I'm saying. I have trouble not seeing it this way. Maybe Moses was just a guy
Maybe we're just cynical because we live now, though.
who was like, man, these dumb shits need some guidance. I'll make some shit up. Hold on. Ting, 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 ting.
Sure, but then he goes down, and for the most arbitrary of reasons, they all get killed. Because
Yeah.
of a thing they didn't know they shouldn't do yet because he didn't have the...
Well, that was probably because he was mad. He went up to the mountains like, I just spent fucking a week up here.
Yeah.
Fucking...
in the middle of a volcano, tinking away.
I come down. This is why I went up there. Now I gotta go up again.
Yeah.
While I'm gone, drink that fucking gold water, you assholes.
Anger management issues. Also, Aaron killed them.
Yeah.
And then they do that.
If you don't know what we're talking about, atheist Bible study over.
Yeah, come on, get with it.
Yeah.
Also, just regular Bible study. You should. I mean, if you go to church, you should be real close to fucking Moses once, right? No, do they leave that stuff out?
Yeah.
No.
This, too, is a scripture that we revealed. Blessed, verifying what preceded it, that you may warn the mother of cities, and all around it. Those who believe in the hereafter believe in it, and are dedicated to their prayers. Who does greater wrong than someone who invents falsehood against God, or says, it was revealed to me when nothing was revealed to him, or says, I will reveal like that of what God revealed. If only you could see the wrongdoers in the floods of death. As the angels with arms outstretched, give up your souls! Today you are being repaid with the torments of shame for having said about God other than the truth, and for being too proud to accept his revelations. That's, Muhammad making sure. Can't have anyone else coming around saying they're the newer
prophets.
newer prophet.
Yeah, don't believe other people.
He kind of
think they bought it.
looks to his child bride. I think they're buying it.
And then she's like, apples! Because she's a child and wants apples for a snack.
Yeah.
Because it's snack time.
I told you. Apples.
Dick
I
nap. Apples dick nap should be a shirt. Apples dick nap. Yeah. You guys want that shirt? I'll make that shirt.
It is God who splits the grain and the seed.
No, that's a mill.
He brings the living from the dead. He brings the dead from the living. Such is God. So how could you deviate?
Does he bring the living from the like? What is there? Are there zombies around?
It's just okay. They're talking about different miracles in the Bible and stuff, and
Yeah.
probably different times when people in old timey before modern medicine.
Imagine a guy like you think he dies, right? And then someone like hits him on the chest because they're sad, like come back, and just accidentally CPRs them
Well,
back
I'm
into
assuming
and they're
there
like,
were-
oh my god,
People didn't know shit.
dude, think about your life after that though.
Yeah.
You'd be like you'd be a literal miracle to everybody.
Yeah, and imagine,
Oh.
let's say, you saw something because of the chemical processes that take place in your brain
As it
when
dies,
you
yeah.
die. Let's say you come back from that and you tell people.
Right.
It's almost like you could start whole fucking...
By the way,
Religions
that
with that.
hallucination, like, is the thing that I'm like, that's gonna be weird. That's the like. So you ever think about your mortality, and you're just like, man, dying's weird.
You know
What a strange concept. And then you think, yeah, I know the chemical process, or roughly, I've heard of it and read about it. Like, I'm gonna hallucinate. I'm gonna trip balls on my way out. Is it gonna be cool, or is the last thing I see like? Just like my dick falling off and I can't grab it.
Here's my concern. I'm a person who,
You trip hard.
I worry a lot,
Yeah.
too. And I sort of self-reflect
Yeah.
myself into corners and, like, self-fulfilling prophecy. I don't think anything actually happens when you die, but I'm
Right.
fully aware that sometimes people hallucinate right before you're about to
Right,
die.
yeah. So,
So
95-year-old Hugo just being like, "Ah."
I'm worried in my last seconds because of my own, like,
Yeah.
anxiety. I'm gonna, like, in my last moments, actually hallucinate, like, me being wrong. Like, I'm gonna hallucinate.
You're being wrong.
Like,
God comes up.
God being like...
because
and
you were born religious.
Right.
No, born religious. Raised it.
So my final existing moments of consciousness are me thinking I was wrong.
That's a very Black Mirror end to your life.
But then not actually being wrong.
Yeah.
Because then I die, and I'm actually dead, because nothing actually happens
Right.
when you die. That's a worry I have.
That is weird. I actually don't, because I don't have a fear of any of that. Because if my parents did one thing right in between the alcoholism and the constant beatings, I didn't get beat. The alcohol's real. It was not being raised religious. I said that and then thought, my mom sometimes watches the show. She would be very upset if I called her a child beater. I remember the last time she spanked me when I was like 8 years old. She's a tiny woman. You've seen
Yeah.
her. Maybe I was 9 or 10. She spanked me, and it didn't happen very often, but I was probably being a dickhead. And so she's walking, and she gives me one on the butt, and it didn't hurt because she's so small. And I laughed, and then we both had a chuckle together. And she's like, "Yeah, I'm not going to do that anymore." Yeah.
So that's it.
Yep.
You can always follow us on Twitter at Hugo Reloaded for me, at Papa Bird Jake for Jake.
Yeah, maybe we should get you a title too.
Maybe.
I mean, you are Papa Hugo. People
Yeah.
say that all the time, but okay. Well, you can also donate to the Patreon. That's a thing we do. Actually, we just did a drive-in. If you haven't seen it, I was forced to ingest several Hot Pockets that actually came out much smoother than I thought, though in volume equal. I think I shat out exactly the amount, like down to the ounce of Hot Pocket, down to the gram. Like it was very proportional shits, but not bad ones. Like it wasn't like eating Taco Bell, where it just like Vesuvius. It was more like soft serve, but you left the valve open.
That's most of my poops.
Oh, well, that's not a thing I normally encounter, so it was
Yeah.
weird.
Anyway, until next time, I'm Hugo.
I feel like we had something else to say. That's fine. I'm Jake.
Discord.
That's the one.
Don't know what that means? Click the link.
Yeah, ooh, it's like a crapshoot. Could be a virus. It is, but it's our personalities.